morning, and David Jordan is going to press play in just a moment. But the first thing I'd like you to do is repeat after me. Ease.
Ease.
Joy.
Joy.
Glory.
Glory.
All of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory, whether you like it or not, whether you remember or not. And I am an Access Consciousness Bars practitioner and facilitator. And that is what having your bars run can help you remember. That even when things are really ucky out, the reality is all of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. And I'm going to start with a short video and do a little bit more. And the video explains the bars. And then I'll give you some examples of how it has benefited my life and other people's lives.
My first bar session, I remember walking out and just going, I'm home. I found it. This is just going to work for me, and I just knew it.
What I find about the bars is very easy to learn. There's no complex pre-set up routine. There are no symbols. There's no invocation. You just sit down and do it.
Well, the first time I had my bars run, the only thing that I noticed afterwards was that there was no thoughts in my head. And that was something that I was trying to work on. It wasn't until when I started doing bars once a week, I started noticing it's like, oh, my life gets easier. That's what it does for me.
I notice that if I don't get my bars run, that's probably the big thing at the moment. And as soon as I get cranky, or if I have a headache, then I'll go get my bars run. It's like this magic wand. Everything seems to like release, and there's more space for me to be in Sydney and in the world. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of kids right now who are having difficulties in school or with friends, and I had a 15-year-old come in last week, and his mom called me ahead of time and said, ever since he's been 3, he's saying he doesn't belong on the planet and doesn't want to be here. And he just had a neck surgery and told me that he wished that he would have died during it. And we did 1 hour of bars and talked to him and asked him some questions, and he got up off the table like this totally different person. And his mom was like, do you want to come back? And he's like, yeah, let's come back tomorrow. So he came back in the next day again, and I was like, so how do you feel? Like a little like better or worse? He's like, oh, you mean the fact that I'm happy now? And I was like, yeah, that. He's like, yeah. And it was like 3 bar sessions. I was like, so cool.
There was more happiness, there was more joy, there was more peace. You just kind of want to give it to everyone, because you know the change that has happened for you, and you've seen the changes in your friends and everyone around you. You're just like, how come everyone's not doing it? Like, it doesn't make any sense that the entire world isn't having their bars run.
One of the things growing up for me is my grandfather was very much an organic gardener when it wasn't the thing. And it was all about energy. And when you think about it, everything is energy. And one of the things he did, and we thought he was just kind of kooky, but he would use little pyramids in the garden and magnets and all this stuff. So I wish I'd asked him more questions to really understand what he saw. And as I got older, I started down the conventional path, and I didn't really feel that that was right for me. And then I started to allow myself to be open to what else is possible in the world. And the bars kept popping up in weird places. And so I started to look into it, went to my first class, never even having had my bars run. And it's just about energy. It's not a religion. It's not, some sort of culty thing. It's different thought processes. A lot of the things that you learn when you have your bars run is, number one, you learn how to receive. We have a really hard time just receiving from people. We're constantly putting our barriers up to protect ourselves. And one of the tools in Access is to put your barriers down, because it is energy that can just flow through you, even the ucky stuff. And some of the changes that have happened to me have been that I am in so much more allowance of things just being, and changing my point of view and just staying out of judgment. Staying out of judgment is one of the most freeing things you can do, and to truly stay out of judgment, that you have no point of view about something, that you may just have awareness. Different things that have changed for me. One thing was my daughter, which high school she was going to go to. So there was a lot of angst for me. How am I going to get her there? For many of you may know I don't drive. So how am I going to get her there if she's can't ride the bus and blah, blah, blah. And so I started using a lot of the tools and getting my bars run more often, which is like defragging my brain, getting rid of all the ucky stuff so I can make better judgments. And once I started doing that, everything fell into place, and she got in the school that was right for her, that she could ride the bus to. Another thing that has helped me a lot is being open to different sources of revenue, realizing I don't have to necessarily control it, that the universe, that God is constantly saying, here. And I kept saying, no, I can't control that. But once I started relaxing and realizing that it is constantly trying to reward me, gift to me, that I started having different types of revenue, from renting my master bedroom, which I never thought about it. Somebody said, you want to rent your master bedroom? Okay. You know, do you want to do a little warehousing project and mail some stuff out occasionally? Okay. So my revenue has increased from doing bars. Clearing my house has been a big thing, and I brought this shark. This is representative of the type of really cool clutter I used to have in my house that somebody's going to get today because this represents, I don't need that stuff anymore. I need space to be able just to be me and to relax. So that is representative of this. Having your bars run is like having a wonderful massage. That may be all that you get out of it, or it could totally change your life. And I'm just pressing very gently different spots on your head, and it just opens up. The feedback I get has been from everything from, oh, that was nice, to, oh, I'm seeing interesting colors, I'm seeing this. Most people end up just falling asleep because they are relaxing, and they're releasing, and they are allowing themselves to just receive. Last week, I'm not sure how many of you were here, I related a story of a young mother who was working a full-time job and was getting headaches and biting her fingernails, and knew something was not right, and had her bars run, and ended up shifting her whole thought process, and resigning from her job and pursuing a different avenue, and realizing that she can do it without having that full-time income. Was it something I did? I put my fingers on her head and let the energy do what it needed to do. She's the one that really did it. I'm just a facilitator of what people are ready to release or ready to receive. This Saturday, I am teaching a class. And why would you take a class? You would take a class to know this technique so you can gift it to other friends and family members. A lot of people only take the class so that they can do what's called exchanges, where you get together with other people that have learned how to do the bars, so that you can have that release and that openness and continue to take that next step to being the best you, the you that the world deserves to see, because every single one of us has amazing gifts to give. And they're very individual gifts, and they're crucial to the future of our world. As I wrap this up, there are lots of tools that you can do in Access that I have some of them written down that I use a lot. And I was trying to think of the best one for you guys as business people, what would be a really good tool for you? And I think just the most simple one is what else is possible. If you have a client who maybe is kind of in a negative state, it's just to, and maybe they're being difficult, it's just to say in the back of your head, what else is possible? And what that does for you is it shifts that thought process. It's really subtle. And just to say, what else is possible? What else is possible? And these tools work. They're pretty amazing when you use them, and all of a sudden, it's like an aha when you realize they work. One of the biggies is, how does it get any better than this, even when things are ucky? Because that's a petition to God, it's a petition to the universe to show me, how does it get any better than this? Because it can be shown to you, and it truly works. The short amount of time, there's so much I would love to tell you, and I've had to I get excited and I want to tell you everything, but I just simply can't. I would love to, let you know more about it, have a session, or just have coffee and we can talk about some stuff. So I have 2 giveaways. So I have this lovely shark, which you can always re-gift. There are no chips in it, so. And also an hour-and-a-half session, which would include having your bars run and also facilitation, which just helps you just start shifting some of your thought processes so that you can have and recognize the ease, joy, and glory that you already have in your life, but where you can see it more often.